all. Dave Henderson, Senior Associate at COX Architecture. So I'm happy to be presenting the Silverwoods in Yarrawonga. So it's 4.5 stories star resort. First, I'd just like to pay my respects to the Mulwala people and the lands of the Yorta Yorta country on which this project stands. So as key drivers of this project, I'll run through this pretty quickly. Building community, so a really diverse range of people that this is targeting. Embracing the elements, it's about living outside, embracing the landscape and the elements, appropriate levels of shade and shelter, and bang for your buck, so building more with less. It's a mandate of COX's 4.5 stories star resort on a very minimal budget. So Yarrawonga, about 3.5 hours, 3 hours depending how fast you like to drive from Melbourne. Main reason to go there for a while was just to do the pokies. These days it's more about water sports, destination for lifestyle, fishing, water skiing. Before the dam arrived in the 30s, wasn't a lot to speak of there, but these days it's more about fishing and the lifestyle approach. 5k's drive from the town centre of Yarrawonga. We've got Mulwala on the north side of the river in New South Wales. The foreshore walk that takes you all the way into the township. The point is our site on the edge of this Silverwoods estate, so it's part of a master planned estate. Features an 18-hole golf course called the Black Bull, top 100 public golf courses in Australia, so it's a lovely course. Housing development sort of woven around that golf course with a mix of different development housing types, including medium density. So the golf course has really gone a long way to starting to repair the land, establishing some greenery, bringing water through the site. These are all filtration ponds which manage the whole stormwater, so nothing goes into the lake without being treated. The site was in a pretty sad state when we arrived to start the project. Heavy erosion, the land was literally getting washed away into the lake. The boundary actually sits on the outside, partially outside of the land near in the water of the tidal. A very unique site, water frontage on 3 sides with the golf course aspect to the south, competing with view the western sun, so large areas of western face, which was a challenge of the project. A $30 million budget, 5,500 square metres of internal area, completed around 2020, in the middle of COVID. So a bit of delay to the opening of this project, but since it's opened, it's been a very, very successful enterprise. The design pillars of the project were really drawing on the rural vernacular of Australia, looking at the history of the site and understanding that the rural charm, and trying to hold on to that and bring that through into the development. The client owns the Tuppel Station, which is quite a significant shearing station just northwest of Yarrawonga, and drawing on the ideas of that of simple, honest expressions of pared-back structure, materiality, and the space really reflects that, we think. Care for country and people. Firstly, country, as I said, all the water's treated. There's 5,000 native plants that have been planted on our site, almost 500,000 native plants across the golf course and the broader master plan. So really leaving the country better than we found it. Care for people is the obvious thing of the spa treatment rooms and these lovely spaces to restore people. But having the openness and connection to nature, even these spaces, is really important. The biophilic principles of the good that can do for people. And all about immersion in the outdoors, so maximising spaces where you can be outside, enjoy the fresh air, and the local produce really features throughout it.
Touching on materiality, it's not a pretentious building. It's really honest in its expression of structure and materiality. We've used 4 key materials here. Timber, steel, glass, concrete, and a local brick as well, sourced it from New South Wales. The red gum timber, as we touched on before, Tuppel Station, we went to the landscape about 18 months before this was built, and we felled a couple of trees with the owners there to use that gum throughout the joinery pieces in the bar area. But it's, as we said here, everything we see here is rough. It's supposed to be robust. It's supposed to be honest. It's not over the top. The roof forms are a series of folded planes in a very simple way. One of the probably key features here is the fact that we've got lots of timber battens shading from our northern aspects and our western aspects. as well as covered area. So we've got 2,000 square metres of actual covered area. So Yarrawonga is known for its heat, but it's known for its cold. It gets cool at night, but we've got a shelter from the sun. So we've not tried to overcomplicate by building too much internal space, but it's that balance between internal and external spaces. Large solar array on the roof there too, 214 kilowatts of rooftop energy. All of the rooms, quite unique for a hotel. You can open the doors, you can actually step out onto balconies, you can walk down to the rivers, to the lake. We've got ceiling fans within all of the spaces. So it's actually that indoor-outdoor environment again that we're trying to promote here. Expression of program. This is kind of quite a unique setting in the fact that it is on this point building. We've kept cars out of, I guess, the main bulk of the land mass and the site. So parking as you arrive. We've got this large village green, which is marquee space, it's event space, it's your arrival space, but it provides vistas in between the buildings of those great northern aspect views to the lake. One of the primary drivers here as well is access and movement through the site. So this isn't just a hotel for guests. People come here for dinner, they come here during the day. The morning walks, the client spent $2.5 million restoring or building this whole boardwalk. It's actually not on their land, it's part of the Golden River land. Well, the client encouraged this connection now back to the town, so 5 kilometres away from Yarrawonga itself. The landscape is a blend between that golf course manicured green now sort of blending in towards the water. So yes, it's quite green and manicured, but at the same time we've got a lot of regeneration of ponds, natural flora and fauna as well across the site. The point building is your arrival. It's your front door to the hotel, the Sebel brand, big, large, expansive, lovely verandas as you open and address, oversized rainwater gutters. It does rain up here quite heavily as well. But again, everything you see here, it's rough, it's raw. We bring in materials from outside to inside, burnished concrete column floors. 1 minute, thank you. Address that relationship between function spaces internally and externally. Wellness, which Dave touched on before. The pool is a real draw card, so overlooking, sort of that infinity edge, looking over to the river there, north aspect. It's a real draw card for the site. People pull up in their speedboats. And they have the ability to come in for a drink. That relationship of wellness. The stay component, I think it was 47 studio spaces. The apartment buildings here, we've got 3 and 2 bedroom apartments on the northern front aspect. Again, balconies, relationships there from internal to outside, and the ability to step out onto all of your balconies. And this is the upper apartment building here. Relationship back to those beautiful waterfront views. This is as iconic Australian as it gets. Water gum trees in a lake is an amazing setting. The golf shop was actually the project that set the tone for this. This came about 4 years before the development. It was part of the golf course establishment, and it set the tone with regards to materiality and that skillion shaped roof. Thank you.